So this morning we're going to start with a testimony from one of our students, Shawn. If you can come up. Yeah. So Shawn is just going to tell us a little bit more about his life, his journey with God. And so, Shawn.
Yeah, so I'm Shawn. I'm 20 years old. I kind of came from a different life coming into the school. I was the shy kid at the back. I wasn't really, kind of out there. I wasn't confident or anything like that. And, it's just amazing that God can actually, bring you out and show you who you really are and take you, to a higher level. So, and not only is it for you, but I feel like, through that I've kind of impacted other people. And that's really big for me. So that's a little bit about me. So I'm going to share a testimony. So one day, a couple weeks ago, I woke up, and at the school we have worship every morning. And, some days it's a little dreading because, you kind of want to sleep in. You don't really want to go every single morning and worship. But so I was kind of tired. I was kind of drowsy, and I went down to worship, and I was just standing there in the back. Not like usual, I'm at the front, but I'm at the back today because I'm not really feeling it. And I was just like, okay, God, what do you want to do today? I mean, I don't want to do this. Just give me the desire, to do something. So I was just kind of, worship started, and I was just kind of, not really doing anything, not really into it. And then, kind of slowly, gradually, I started speaking in tongues. And through that, I kind of started singing in tongues. And then I ended up completely engaged, completely just, full-heartedly singing in tongues. And that's new to me. I've never done that. So it was crazy. And then that was just the beginning of my morning. From that, I was completely blasted, and it went in from there. We had John Arnott's wife, Carol Arnott, speak to us in the afternoon, or in the morning after worship, and that in itself was amazing. But she shared her testimony of her own, and that really, really impacted me. It's a long, long story, but it was about kind of this golden sword that you can take a hold of, and through that, God can use you as a weapon to really bring a lot of strongholds down that are against Him. And while we were doing some kind of practical stuff through that, so we all kind of lined up, and she would go around and just kind of bless you and stuff like that. So the whole time I was standing there, I wasn't really feeling anything. But as soon as she laid hands on me, I just went out, hit the ground, was in a complete knockout state. And I just started praying in tongues and just laid on the floor. Everyone went to lunch. I was there for probably an hour and a half. I was still there. Somebody came over, put a pillow under my head. I don't even remember that happening. It was completely crazy. So that night we do a thing. It was a Thursday. We do a thing on Thursdays called House of Prayer, and it starts at about 7 o'clock. So we go there and we worship, and some people share some stuff, and that's usually when I get my journaling time in. So I was doing some journaling, and God was like, I want you to write down the vision that you had during today, because I had a vision. And I'm just going to read from my journal, word for word, what I wrote down. So, God really blasted me. When Carol told us about her vision of the golden sword, I could taste the anointing in the room. It only increased from there. Carol told everyone to take hold of the sword, but for some reason I couldn't do it. I was scared of the power that it had. I was scared I wouldn't be able to handle that kind of power and that kind of responsibility. Then God softly spoke, Shawn, grab this sword and vanquish your enemies. In that very moment, Carol laid hands on me, and I left the room. I was dropped into this very dark and very barren, desert-looking wasteland. And the ground was all, completely cracked up and dry and damaged. And the sky was just red and full with dark clouds. But in there, I wasn't scared. I wasn't afraid. It was almost this feeling as if when you take the bat in baseball and you go up and you just have that complete confidence and you're going to hit a home run. That's exactly how I felt. So I was very calm. I was very ready and excited. And as I clenched this massive golden sword, an army of demons came pouring out from all sides and charged towards me. It was a literal massacre. Demon after demon went crashing to the ground. And as they did, I could feel these ungodly beliefs and habits and judgmental way of thinking just lift off me. And like all the bad in my life just came pouring off me. Every demon I slayed, it was just like another thing being lifted off me. And as I conquered these demons, like I would just begin to glow, and like this glowing would just start pouring out of me, and every demon would just make me glow a little bit more and a little bit more. And as I overcame this, it was just so much pure light radiating off me that the demons just started to scatter off. Like eventually they were scared of just looking at me, and they started scattering and just running away from me. So as it was all over, I was standing there alone, and as I caught my breath, I looked up, and this little leaf just slowly floating, and it was like a vibrant green, glowing kind of leaf, started falling from the sky. And as it hit the ground, everything came to life. The sky cleared up, the sun came out, grass and forest and lush just started emerging aggressively from the ground, and this feeling of peace and calmness and victory overwhelmed me. So it was just like, this really impacted me because before I was praying for the love of God. I was like, God, I want to desire you more. I want to know your love more. And with that, he kind of made me understand, like, with that, you also need peace. You also need calmness and rest, because, there's like a spirit, with his love, there's a spirit of anxiousness and a spirit of, I need more, I need more. So I've been really praying for this peace and this calmness, and God was just kind of spoke to me, and he was like, it's okay now. Like, you've slayed your demons, you've conquered. And it really just set this stillness in my heart, and it just kind of opened my eyes to everything around me and everything that God was doing, and it made me really kind of look back on everything that God has done already in my life. And I just had this point of rest, exactly it. Like, where I came from before, if I looked a year back in my life, it's completely different than it is now. And I just take a step back, and I'm like, wow, like, this is all because of you, God, and I just want to do more. So that's my testimony for today.
Thank you so much, Shawn. I find it so amazing what God can show us in those moments where we're just resting in his presence and just seeking after him more. And all those revelations that you've received, I find it amazing. Thank you so much.